There's a moment in Texans history that quite literally no one talks about, but it changed everything. It didn't start with a draft pick or a trade or even a touchdown. It started with one step. Before standing on the sideline, before putting on the headset, before the franchise turnaround, head coach DeMeco Ryans was the life of the Houston Texans defense. He was the leader. He was the voice in the huddle, the guy teammates followed without question. What did he accomplish in his Texans tenure? He received the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. He was voted to 2 Pro Bowls, and in his first 6 seasons, he only missed 10 games. Houston didn't just have a great player, they had an identity. But then in 2012, they decided to move on from DeMeco Ryans. Traded him away for a 4th round pick. It's a quiet ending, no ceremony for the star defensive player. Then a couple of years later, they bring him back to Houston. Same stadium, same crowd, and this should have been a feel-good homecoming. But it turned into something else. Huge defensive play, he intercepts a pass, sees an open field, and starts running it back. No contact, no hit, and suddenly he goes down. It's later diagnosed as a torn Achilles, and the future head coach of the Houston Texans, DeMeco Ryans' career as a player is over. Most players honestly just chalk that up to being bad luck. But not DeMeco. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Every step felt different. At that time in Texans history, they played on what you would call a modular grass field. That's grass grown from outside of the stadium and brought in and put together piece by piece. Some spots felt firm, but others felt soft and honestly unstable. That's what DeMeco Ryans believes ended his career. And because of that belief, years later, he took action against the organization that drafted him and later will employ him as their head coach. In 2016, DeMeco Ryans, future head coach of the Houston Texans, sued the Texans organization and the NFL for prematurely ending his career because of their negligence to inspect the grass on the field. And according to reports, the lawsuit ended up being settled privately, and the effects of his case were pretty impactful to not just him, but the team, because the Texans eventually shifted to AstroTurf a season later. And then 6 years later, that organization he filed a lawsuit against hired him as their head coach. DeMeco Ryans, the defensive player that the Houston Texans drafted way back when, is now one of the most successful head coaches in Texans history, if not the most successful head coach. During his tenure, the Texans have not missed a single playoff and are now off to the divisional round for the 3rd straight season. What once felt like a broken relationship is now the foundation of the Texans' best era. That's what you call a full circle moment. Make sure to follow.